welcome back to another Plan With Me video. Today's video will be a bit different since it is my August weekly, which I've never done one of these videos before, and also the voiceover will be kind of answering some different study tips and studygram advice and things like that. So yeah, let's get into the video. So the first question is from It's Me Saji Shuttler, and they asked, how do I prepare within 3 days? Usually what I like to do is on the first day I will review notes and content and things like that, and then on the second and third day I will focus on basically a lot of practice questions, or like exam style questions, test questions, textbook questions, just questions in general. And then the night before I will kind of read through my notes. I don't really know if it's a superstition or it actually helps, but I always read through my notes before I go to bed, and then I kind of put my notebook next to my bed. That part is probably a superstition, but yeah. The next morning when I wake up, like on the day of the test, I will kind of read through my notes again, and also any questions that I kind of highlighted that I couldn't answer from any of the worksheets or textbook questions or things like that. I also review that again the morning of whatever assessment I have. The next question is from Avani Sharma 71, and they said, I really have a lot of study to do for my test and I don't feel like studying. What should I do? And usually in that situation I will do a different subject that I'm really motivated by, or an activity that motivates me or like gets me excited or something, and then when I've kind of gotten into the study mood or kind of in the zone, I will switch, and then I will start studying for the test that I have coming up. If the test is kind of far away and I don't really have anything to do, and I just don't have the motivation to study for it, sometimes I'll just take a break for the night. Like, I know it sounds really the opposite of what you would want, but sometimes I find taking a break actually helps you get more motivated. Like a few days ago I woke up and just basically did nothing for a whole day. Yeah, and like not even online shopping. Like I procrastinated online shopping, which is just, yeah. Yeah. So then the next day I was actually really motivated and really productive. So I think sometimes taking a break can actually really help with that kind of thing. But if it is kind of a bit more urgent, I will usually try to get myself into the study zone by doing another subject that is kind of motivating, or helps me get into kind of the study mood. So another question I've gotten asked about is how to create a productive study session, and I think the main thing is to work with you rather than against you. That probably didn't make any sense, but rather than forcing you to do a subject that you don't want, pick the subject that you're kind of motivated to do. Like for example, today you might really want to do biology, but instead you force yourself to do English. But then the next day you're like, oh, I need to actually get biology done now, but you're not motivated to do biology anymore. I don't know if that made any sense, but like, rather than that, kind of pick the one that you're really motivated and want to do in the moment, because you'll probably be more productive doing that anyways. And then on a different day, like you might not want to do that subject that you were really keen to do a different day, you know? So yeah, that's kind of one way. But also this method can kind of turn into procrastinating as well, so it's kind of important to also recognize whether it is you trying to procrastinate or whether you're just really motivated to do something else. So but yeah, that's kind of what I'd say for that one. So the next question is from Studying With Me, and they asked, how do you start a studygram and promote it? And I've also received a few other questions from a few people about, how and when to start a studygram. Also any tips for people who just started a studygram. And my main thing is to kind of experiment, and especially when you're just started a studygram or something, try to think about the content that you like to see. Like if you've been following studygrammers for a while, like why do you like following them, what sort of content do you like to see, and then kind of apply that to your own style, if that makes sense. And then the other thing about when do you start a studygram, you can honestly start a studygram whenever. Like, you certainly do not need to know everything or need to have like supplies or anything to start a studygram. I mean, like, I still don't know what I'm doing. Like, you certainly do not need to know what you're doing to start one. You learn a lot of things on the way, and I think that's kind of one of the really cool things about a studygram is you can also see your growth and like kind of thing when you have one, but you certainly do not need to know anything about starting a studygram to start one. I mean, I only figured out how Instagram Live works like during my first Study With Me live thing. I didn't even know what a live button was, so that's something. Yeah. In terms of the supplies, like, I remember I started out my first pictures on my kitchen counter, and then I don't have a white desk. My desk is kind of like wood, and I really liked people who had white bed sheets or white desks or that kind of aesthetic, but like I just didn't have any of that. So I used a piece of paper and I placed my notes and things on top of that. So you don't really need anything fancy or anything to start one either. The next question is from Anita1905, who asks for suggestions to organize summer homeworks and be productive when it's really hot. And I'd say to kind of write out a to-do list with every single summer homework that you have, and then on a calendar kind of allocate each homework to kind of each day, if that makes sense. And to also include rest days. I think that's really important because like that not only gives you like a holiday, because that's also really important to take a break, but sometimes you might fall behind, or sometimes you might decide like, no, like I'm not very productive today, I'd like to take my rest day today. Then you can have those days that you actually allocated for rest to kind of catch up on different things, or some days you're really motivated so you want to kind of get ahead, and then you can use those days and then take your break a different day, if that makes sense. So yeah, breaks are definitely really important to schedule in as well. So bringing it back to my bullet journal spread now, I hope you guys enjoyed watching me make my weeklies. This is honestly one of my favorite themes I've done so far, and also the weekly spreads as well. But yeah, let me know if you guys like this type of video. I still have a lot of questions from you guys that I haven't answered yet, so if you enjoy this type of video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe and turn on the post notifications. And also let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions you'd like me to answer as well. And yeah, I'm thinking of doing something maybe similar for September as well, so let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!